Today is yoga for stress. 60-minute class, nice and slow, gentle. Looking to find places that we commonly hold stress and relieve a little tension. And we don't do any standing poses in this class. It's nice and gentle. And it is a class that I do recommend you have your props, your blankets, anything that increases your comfort handy. We're not going to do anything too strenuous today. We are going to go nice and soft and slow. So begin down on your back. Just starting to land in the present moment. Let go of whatever has yet to come, is yet to come, and whatever has happened already. Starting to build up a secret space around your mat. Just being you and the mat and whatever is present for you right now. Take some wiggles with the knees and hips. You can have your feet on the ground, knees up, or your legs long, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just as long as you can start to land in the ground. So start to feel your hips melting into the ground. So no muscular action in around the glutes and the hips. And then start to really try and get your shoulders to land on the ground. You can prop a little towel in underneath the shoulder blade if it doesn't quite catch the ground. Help it know where the ground is. Bring your arms down, palms up. Take a little wiggle of the head. Notice what is present in the neck and be mindful that you're not pulling your chin down and flattening your neck. Bring your neck to its natural curve. And take a couple of long, slow breaths in and exhale, sigh them out of your mouth, maybe even with a soft smile. And then a couple more, really thinking about inhaling fresh and exhaling anything no longer needed. Exhaling stale energy, stale breath, exhaling stress. And notice if there were any changes. Maybe your shoulders softened a little more into the ground. Maybe there's a little less tension around the hips. So the whole point of the practices in yoga is to notice all these things, all these changes. Start to increase that mind-body connection. Notice what is present mentally, emotionally, physically. Take some wiggles of the toes, see what's holding on in the feet, some wiggles of the fingers. We're going to start to move and breathe really slow and gentle at first. Bring your hands down by your hips. And inhale, lift your arms up overhead, nice and slow. Exhale, bring your arms back down by your hips. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you bring your hands back down. Really checking in on any of your holding patterns. As you start to lift your arms, you start to pull into the low back. Just starting to notice. Trying to keep this movement from above the rib cage. So really just moving the arms and the shoulders. Soften the neck. And if you really are pulling a lot into the lower back and your feet are on the ground, legs are on the ground, bring your feet onto the ground, knees bent. And see if that makes it a little bit softer in your low back. And then bring your arms open wide, about shoulder height, and then bring your hands to goal post arms. So you're going to bring your arms palms up towards your head. So we're going to move and breathe here, but we want to connect to the muscles across the chest, across the arms, and into the shoulders. We want to make sure the low back stays soft. So we're going to inhale as our arms are up and open. Exhale as we slowly push our hands down towards the ground, trying to find the muscles of the chest. Inhale as you open, and exhale as you push your hands down to the ground, moving slow, trying to find some muscles. So we're really trying to connect with a very subtle movement across the front of the shoulder. Moving with your breath. Inhale fresh. Sweep away tension with the exhale. Bring your hands down so they're pushing down, active chest, and really scan anywhere else in the body. So look into your neck, make sure your neck is soft, your low back is soft, and we're just using across the front of the chest. Pressing the arms down, active. And then open the arms up, palms up. We're going to inhale here and exhale as we draw our hands in towards center. Inhale, open. Exhale, drawing our hands in, bending at the elbows. Inhale, open. Exhale. So, as you're doing this, what's going on anywhere else in the body? Trying to keep the low back still soft. Trying to keep the face soft, the neck soft. And really trying to slow your movement. And really feel every muscle that makes this movement happen. Bring your hands open, arms open, palms up. And we're going to lengthen the right arm. So imagine you're pushing a wall away from you. Lengthen the right arm without moving the body. So lengthen, push that arm away. Feel which muscles engage. Then draw the shoulder back. Feel. Let it go. Press the left hand away from you. Feel the muscles across the front of the shoulder. And then draw the shoulder back in towards the spine. And then let it go. Take a little wiggle of the arms and shoulders. Let any tension go. And take the feet up to the ceiling. Just look at the feet. Start to experience the feet above the heart. You can take some slow ankle circles. Wiggle the toes. Pedal out the legs. Just starting to have an experience in your legs, in your feet. Lower the left foot, knee bent, and we're going to take a big circle with this right leg, but nice and slow. If you like, you can keep your hands on your hips just to try and keep your hips grounded. And take the right leg in a slower circle as you possibly can, trying to feel every part of the circle and which muscles engage to keep the leg stable as you move it. Not holding your breath, nice and soft and slow. And then reverse the direction of your circle. Still slow. We're not rolling around in the joint. We're trying to find the muscles of the leg. And then bring the right leg up towards the ceiling. Slowly bring it out towards the right, just a little. So not as far right as it can go towards the ground, but as far right as you can keep your hips stable on the ground. So maybe start to activate your stomach and really push your hips into the ground. Bend the knee, bring the right knee towards the shoulder. So coming up towards the shoulder, we're going to push away. So we're going to inhale as we draw up. Exhale as we push away. Starting to find the muscles of the leg and trying not to use the muscles of the back. So engage the stomach, press the hips down, keep yourself nice and stable. You You can even bring your fingertips to these muscles in your stomach, trying to remind yourself which ones should be fired up. And not all the low back doing the work. If you're really struggling with this, bring your knee back towards midline a little more. And then lower the right leg and take a little soft sway with the knees. Reset. Right leg remains down, hips grounded, stomach a little active. And then the left leg, active muscles, takes a really long, slow circle, as slow as you can. Try not to activate the muscles in the back. Trying to keep this all in the leg. A little bit of grounding in the hips with the stomach muscles. Soften your neck. Soften your face. Connect with the muscles that move your leg. And then reverse your circle. Notice if you're gripping in the back. Notice if you're gripping in the right foot. And then bring the right knee over toward left knee, over towards the left a little, bend the knee, and you're going to draw it up towards the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale to push the foot away. Active leg, strong stomach here. So you're going to really engage and keep your torso stable. Move with your breath. Soften your face and your neck. Look for gripping in the right toes. Look for gripping in the back. And then bring the left foot down and take a side sway with the knees and hips. Reset. Leaving the left foot down, bring the right foot up and hold on to the thigh. And we're going to move from the knee down. So we're just holding on to the thigh. We're not pinching it and grabbing it, just holding on. Keeping an eye on it, keeping it kind of stable and still. You're going to activate the foot. So pull the toes back towards the shin. Push through the ball of your foot. So now the whole muscles in the lower leg firing up. Push, push, push. Strong and active. And we're going to pull the heel towards the right. And then pull slow back towards center without letting the thigh move too much. Slowly moving with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, pull towards center. Inhale, open. Exhale, pull towards center. Slow as you can. And then maybe taking the foot, loosening the foot a little, and just pulling from the heel. So now not the foot active, just the leg. Pull from the heel. Pull out and pull in. See if it uses a slightly different muscle group. Trying to keep the thigh as still as possible. And then bring the heel in towards the midline. And we're going to pull it up towards our nose. So pulling it up towards our nose without pulling the right hip off the ground. Right hip still stays on the ground. Push the right knee away from you. Pull the right knee towards the nose. So we have this action of our muscles working in opposite directions. Pulling the heel, pushing the knee without force, no hands, just using our muscles. We're going to bring the heel in and then bring it back. So heel and knee move. Bring the heel in and bring it back. Pull in, push back. Small movement. Activating the legs. See if you can squeeze the stomach muscles a little more just to keep the hips nice and stable. Keep this movement from below the hip. Try not to fire up the back. Soften the face and the neck. Take the right leg long. Take a little reset. Maybe pulse out the leg. And then bend the knee. Knees about over the hip. We're going to pull the heel out towards the right. Hold it here, and then little pulses, bringing the heel up towards the glute and then back. Small, slow, up and out. So not directly in towards the glute, we're pulling it out past the glute, more around towards the hip. Watch for the low back doing work. Just try to use the muscles of the leg. And then cross the right ankle underneath the left knee and actively press the knee away from you with the muscles of the leg. You can scooch the left foot in, see if you can change how this feels. And then lower the right foot, take a little reset, a little sway. Left foot stays down, right foot comes up. You're going to hold on to the left leg, left thigh, and you're going to draw the heel in towards the center and draw the heel out. This time, ball of the foot pushing, toes pulling back. So foot is active. Inhale in, exhale out towards the outside. It doesn't go very far towards the left. Inhale in, exhale out. Trying to keep the movement below the knee as much as possible, finding the muscles of our leg that make movements happen. And then let the foot go, so foot loose, and move from the heel. Same movement, inhale, drawing the heel in towards the center, exhale, drawing the heel out towards the outside. Draw the heel in towards center, keeping the hips stable, a little action in the stomach, pressing the hips down. We're going to draw that heel in towards the right shoulder and then push it away. Knee moves also. So heel in, push away. Small movement, connect with the muscles that make this happen. This is an arm flopping around and this is an arm nice and strong. So use your muscles. Bring the knee back over the hip. Pull the heel out towards the left. And then we're going to pull in and out. Small movements. The knee moves just a little bit. Trying to keep this movement in the leg, not in the low back. Soften the neck and face and chest. Watch for gripping in the right foot. And then cross the left ankle underneath the right knee and press the knee away from you with the muscles of the leg. You can maybe scooch the right foot in a little. And then lower the left foot and take a side sway, reset. Bring the knees in, give yourself a little hug. And then roll on over to a side and come on up to a tabletop position. Landing your hands on the ground and beginning to move and breathe. Inhale, tabletop, exhale, back towards a child's pose shape. Moving with your breath, landing on your mat. Inhaling fresh, exhaling, letting go of what you no longer need. And then come on up to a tabletop position. We're going to be here for a little bit, so if you have sensitive knees, feel free to place a blanket in underneath your knees. We're going to try and bring some weight onto our shoulders. So engage your stomach and pull yourself up out of the ground with your chest and shoulder muscles and your arm muscles lifting up. And then with that weight, strong and active in our shoulders, we're going to pull our shoulders up towards our ears and then pull our shoulders down our back. So we're trying to use our muscles nice and slow. It's a small, subtle movement. And then find the midpoint. So middle of not too close to our ears and not too far pulled down our back. Our shoulder blades are neutral. Find that midpoint, still engaged. So chest is still engaged, a little weight in the hands. And we're going to roll the shoulders in a very slow and controlled circle. As if you're trying to feel every movement your shoulder can make. And then go in the other direction, reverse your circle. Bring it back to tabletop. Take your hands a little bit wider than your mat. Maybe even fingertips point out. Pull up out of your hands. Your muscles of your arms and shoulders are engaged. You're not sinking into the ground. You're lifting up, active and strong. We're going to move a little more over to the right, bending the right elbow, but not dropping the left shoulder. We're going to keep this arm fully engaged. Bend. And then slowly bring your body back through center and bend. The left arm, right arm sends towards straight. So slow movement. Inhale as you come through center. Exhale as you bend. Shoulders remain strong and active the whole way through. Nice and slow. Feeling your shoulders. Watch for tension in the neck. And then bring the hips back, adjust the hands. We're going to turn the left hand fingertips towards the knee or past the knee and just press into the hand. So you're starting to take some weight. Press into the hand as if you're pulling yourself up out of the ground with all of your muscles of your hand, changing the shape of your wrist. Switch sides, right hand comes back, pull up out of the ground, activate the muscles of the arm, the chest, the shoulders. Sinking back a little, bring both fingertips to point towards you and open up the back of the wrist. So we press into the top of our hands and then pull without letting our hands move. So a little pull here. Breathing nice and slow and soft. And then bring our hands back down, tabletop position. We're going to take our right leg out, even with the hip. Pull up out of the ground, strong muscles, long, strong leg. Hold it here. Notice if it's starting to get heavy already. Still lifting up out of the ground. Bring the left fingertips even with the shoulders. So arm long, balance, and breathe. If you feel sturdy and strong, keep balancing. And we're going to start to bend the leg, tap the hand. So bring it towards the hand. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend, tap the foot. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend, tap the foot. Notice I'm trying to stay steady by lifting up out of this right arm, engaging my core. Inhale, open. Exhale, tap. Trying to keep the movement from below the knee on the right leg. Not moving through the spine, just moving through the foot, moving through the leg. And then lower. Take a little side sway, and particularly notice left and right shoulders. Set up for the other side. Lifting up out of the ground. Left leg goes even with the hip. Hold and hover nice and strong. Keeping that lift out of the ground, take right arm even with the shoulder. Breathe and balance. Take an inhale with the exhale, bring the foot towards the hand, nice and slow. Don't sink into that right shoulder. Lift it actively out of the ground, pulling your muscles strong, building strength. Bring the right hand down, left leg down. Take a little reset. And then long, soft circles with the hips, nice and slow. Reverse your direction. And then lower all the way down slowly to crocodile pose. Take a big reset when you get there. So one hand on top of the other hand, forehead down, shimmy the hips. Take a big deep breath in, and with the exhale, sigh out and see what you can let go of. We're going to move and breathe gently here. So we're just trying to fire up all of the muscles of the back line. So we want to use the glutes, the backs of the legs, the low back, the mid back, and we want to lift the shoulders from the shoulders, not the crown of the head. So lift as you inhale, exhale as you lower. Move with your breath. Starting to really fire up the backs of the legs. Maybe you can start to bring the legs up off the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We've been using the arms and shoulders, the front of the shoulders a lot, so maybe just letting the arms and shoulders take a break and really focusing on our back line. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back of the legs, squeeze the muscles of the back, and imagine getting longer from the tailbone to the crown of the head rather than a giant arch, just getting longer and stronger. And then bring it back down to crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips. Take a big inhale, and with the exhale, sigh out. What else can you release and surrender into the ground? Tuck the toes, engage all of the muscles of the stomach, and then send your hips back, child's pose. And come on back to a tabletop shape. Take the right hand a little bit further forward. So you have a little more length from the shoulder to the hand. Engage, lift up out of the ground. Left fingertips come forward, and then you're going to take a big slow circle with your left fingertips. Nice slow circle, left arm. Right shoulder a little engaged. Switch sides, left hand long, lift up out of the ground, and then big circle with the right arm. Lower the right hand and bring it back to a regular tabletop shape. We're going to fire up our tabletop. So imagine that you're pushing down through your knees and pulling your knees apart, starting to fire up the glutes and the legs. So we're not actually really pushing in, but we're just trying to fire up that action of muscles. Pushing down, active and strong legs and glutes. Squeeze the stomach muscles as if you're pulling the stomach muscles in towards your midline and back towards the spine. Squeeze, active and strong. We're going to take a really tiny controlled cat-cow. So arms, chest, shoulders strong. As we inhale, we're going to lower our sternum. It's a teeny, subtle movement. Exhale, we're going to pull our sternum back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Trying to keep our base strong. Small, subtle movement. We're really looking to spread wide right below the shoulder blades as we push up and then spread wide right across the front of the chest. And then sink the hips back. Child's pose. Reset. Maybe lift the palms to the ceiling. Let go of the tension in the arms. Slowly make your way up to a seated position. Whenever a comfortable seat is for you. If you need a chair, grab a chair. I'm not going to sit for too long. Just work through the shoulders a little bit more and some of the neck. So thinking about those pinchy muscles, we often get pinches in between the shoulder blades. We're going to work and think about those right now. So long in the spine. Try and get grounded in the hips. So whatever that means, maybe you need to take a couple of wiggles so you feel like your hips are even on the ground. Grab the stomach muscles, start to lengthen in the spine as if you're trying to create little spaces in between each vertebrae, growing from the crown of your head. So a little bit of engagement in the stomach, not squeezing tight, little bit of engagement. And we're going to think about those muscles in the mid back, upper back. Take your right hand across to your left shoulder, left hand across to your right shoulder. I'm going to take really slow circles. So thinking about moving from the rib cage up, from the solar plexus up, not trying to move too much from the solar plexus below. So holding onto your shoulders, we're going to take slow circles through the upper back. Slow as you can. So there's not a lot of range of movement here. So this should be slow, small, subtle movement. And then back in the other direction. Bring your spine back to neutral. Let your arms go and take some wiggles of the shoulders. Really bringing your focus to in between the shoulder blades and just under the shoulder blades. intentionally squeeze the shoulder blades back together. So squeeze the shoulder blades back together without increasing tension anywhere else. So we're really focusing on those muscles between the shoulder blades. So look for any other muscles that are coming to the party that weren't invited. Squeeze. And then we're going to pull one shoulder up at a time. Bring it down while keeping the squeeze. One shoulder up at a time. Trying to keep the shoulder blades squeezed together. Watching for any compensation patterns. Keeping an eye on the low back. Squeezing between the shoulders and softening the face. And then maybe you can start to move while squeezing and just kind of passing the shoulders. One up, one down, one up, one down. Squeeze those muscles. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Pull them really, 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 really tight. Take a deep inhale and then suddenly let your body soften. See if you were able to really soften in between your shoulder blades. And then we'll focus a little on the neck. So mindful and careful and slow when we work with the neck. We're going to bring our chin down towards our chest. Connect with the muscles of the neck first and then take a very, very, very slow circle as if you were trying to find all the ways in which your neck muscles can move. Trying not to drop the skull back, but to let your neck move while engaged. And then reverse your circle. And then bring your chin back to neutral. Wiggle the shoulders. Soften the low back. Look for any tension you may have brought in, left and right side. Find your breath. And then we're going to experience two sensations. So we're going to experience closing in and then opening up. So really trying to just feel the muscles. We're going to bring our right elbow underneath our left and cross over. So you can bring eagle wrap arms, if you can do eagle wrap arms or just palms to the back. Crossing your elbows. So right is underneath left. Lift your elbows up above the shoulders without dropping the head back. So head long, lift shoulders, lift elbows. Watch for your compensation patterns in your low back. Lift, lift, lift. Take an inhale, and with the exhale, we're going to squeeze the elbows down through midline towards our knees while pulling our sternum back. So looking for that cat shape in our upper back. Breathe as you squeeze. Feeling this compressed kind of shape in the front and this open shape in the back. Slowly lift up and unravel the arms. This time left crosses underneath right. Back of the hands together, or you can grab eagle wrap with your hands. Lift, lift, lift the elbows up high. And then slowly squeeze the elbows down towards the knees. Pulling the chest back, opening up the upper back across the shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Compress in the front and open in the back. Slowly bring the elbows back up and unravel. Little soft circles with the shoulders, a little reset. And then we'll do goalpost arms, opening the chest and squeezing in the back. So we're going to lift our arms up, draw our elbows open wide and pulling back behind us. So now the muscles in between the shoulder blades are squeezing together and chest is opening. So chest opening, one of the temptations is to open our chest and just let our head drop back. That we're just resting in on a joint here with no action in our muscles. So avoid that. Open up, lengthen. You can lift your head if you want to lift your eyes and really open up. You can do that, but just try to keep the neck active as you're lengthening the neck while drawing the chest open and drawing the elbows back. So goalpost arms, draw elbows back, breathe into an open chest. And a little tiny subtle movement here. Thinking about opening into the chest. Inhale, draw open more. Exhale, squeeze just a little. Elbows come in, arms are still active. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. And little tiny movement through the chest. Bring the arms down, little soft circles with the shoulders. And rainbow breath. So really thinking about opening up side body, breathing into the rib cage. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale as you fold over to the right, lengthen the left. Inhale up, exhale, fold to the left, lengthen the right. Move with your breath. Flow through the torso. Bring it back through center, and then slowly, little wrist circles, bringing the arms down to our laps. We're going to think about wringing out this solar plexus space. So leaving our hands on our laps. If we are tempted to grab our hands and forcefully move our body by pressing into our hands, bring your hands up, take your hands out of the game. Otherwise, leave them down. We're going to think about moving right from the solar plexus space. So you're going to move the sternum, the rib cage around without moving the lower body. So lower body stays soft. We're going to move the top, nice, slow circles. So all of this muscular action needs to be coming from this space, really in close, the midline. Stomach muscles move the chest, not the back. Soften the face. And again, take the hands out of the game if you're forcing into your legs and moving your torso with the strength of your arms and shoulders. Trust me, a lot of people do it. I used to do it a lot. So we're trying to do it with the muscles of our stomach. And then go round in the opposite direction. Small, subtle movement. And this is not all in the back muscles. Little circle. Little soft, tiny circle. And then bring it back to neutral. We're going to think about the throat space. So to help us connect with it, we're going to imagine a blue ball of energy in between our hands. We're going to interlace our fingers. The blue ball of energy is squished when our hands are together, and then opening as we open our hands. The same thing is going to happen in our throat. We're going to imagine we're squishing and compressing as we lower our chin. Inhale as we open and expand all the muscles in the throat. So we're thinking about the throat. So do not bring the hands onto the neck. We're just using them to help us connect with this whole process. So inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze and compress. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Watch for your compensation patterns in your low back. This movement should be coming really from in the neck, in the chest. Bring it back down. Bring your hands to prayer. Spine neutral, neck neutral, chin neutral. We're going to breathe into third eye space, so forehead, breathing in as if clearing our thoughts. So we're going to think about drawing in clarity and exhale a little sweep. Inhale, draw in clarity. Press the backs of your thumbs to this third eye space. Exhale, a little sweep, soften. Bring it into your third eye. Hold, maybe even close your eyes. And then slowly make your way down to your back. As you're coming down to your back, grab any props, sweaters, socks, anything that you need to increase comfort. We're moving into the comfort portion of our practice. So we are going to do loving kindness again, loving kindness all this week. So we're going to focus in on this chest area. If it is comfortable for you, come to your back for a resting pose so that your shoulders can rest on the ground. Again, you can put a little towel underneath the shoulder blade to let the shoulder, if you have a particularly rounded shoulder, letting your shoulder know that there's something there supporting it can start to soften any gripping that might be pulling across the front of the shoulder. So, moving into the position, you find that you can really relax and soften into. If you are not comfortable on your back, feel free to adjust the pose. Put something underneath your knees. If that's more comfortable, maybe your legs onto a chair if that's more comfortable. Whatever works for you. This is your practice. We're moving into a resting pose. Not a stretch, a rest. So, this is the magic sauce of practice, the rest. Teaching our body how to rest and let go of tension. Coming down onto the ground. Noticing what is present. Noticing perhaps what is different than when we started. Noticing your breath. Maybe beginning to let go of any tension and gripping in the torso and any tension and gripping around the breath. Allowing more and more softness and releasing of tension around the hips. Allow the hips to just melt into the ground, to be supported by the ground. Soften the feet, maybe take some soft wiggles of the toes. Soften the gripping in the hands. Wiggle, soften, loosen the hands. Loosen the wrists. Thinking about this space in the neck, from the ears all the way down across the chest. Softening, loosening. Bring your attention to your right ear. And imagine you could soften all the way down the ear canal and allow more softness and space for your hearing on the right side. And whatever helps you connect to this concept, just bringing your attention right into the right ear canal. Maybe you can imagine a cooling sensation down the ear. There feels like there's inflammation, or maybe you imagine a warming. Maybe it feels tight because it feels cold. Connect with this part of your body and really feel sensation here. And then bring all of the awareness over to the left ear, and imagine you can draw in more space and softness on the left side into the ear canal. And then bring all of your awareness to both ears, and imagine you're drawing in so much space and softness that you can find the space from the outer edge of each ear all the way in and meeting in the middle. Can you begin to feel the muscles of the lower jaw softening and your jaw melting? Releasing the tension from the jaw. And then bring all the awareness to the right nostril. Imagine it opening, softening, the breath moving a little more freely. Maybe imagine breathing in a color or a temperature, really connecting to the right side. And then over to the left nostril. Connect to this side, making more space and softness, more room for your breath. And then see if you can find the meeting point of where the left and right breath meet through the nose. There's a meeting point where left and right sides meet. See if you can bring all of your awareness right here. And then let all of the thoughts of your breath soften away as if you're just falling away from this one pointed focus. And land in your body wherever you land. Where is your attention called to? It's okay if your attention is called to the thoughts. Notice, is it called to the shoulders, the chest, tension in the stomach, tension around the breath, maybe tension in the thoughts? Notice where your attention is called to. And land here and just give it space. And then softly and slowly walk all of your awareness down towards the heart center, the center of the chest. Connecting to the center of your chest. Whatever helps you bring awareness here, you can simply focus on sensation on the center of your chest. You can imagine a ball of energy here. You can give it a color, you can give it a temperature. Landing right in the center of your chest. Imagine that you could open the center of your chest. And as if you could breathe into this space, drawing in fresh and releasing out tension. Imagine that this energy that you're drawing in is fresh, healing, calming, unconditional, loving energy that's going to draw into the center of your heart and slowly spread across your entire form, as if touching each and every cell with softness, kindness, compassion, precisely what you need in this moment without having to cognitively understand what that might be. Just imagining a soft, subtle energy spreading across your entire form, softening and loosening from the heart center. Filling you up all the way to your fingertips, your toes, the crown of your head, the skin on your face, and then thinking about a compassionate, kind, loving sensation. Say these words to yourself right here in this moment. May I be happy. May I be healthy and strong. May I be peaceful and at ease. And then imagine bringing someone into the room with you. Picture them in the room with you. Picture them clearly in your imagination. And imagine wrapping this person in some loving kindness. And repeat these words. May you be happy. May you be healthy and strong. May you be peaceful and at ease. Picture this person receiving this message, feeling softer, warmer, filled with a little more compassion. And then imagine connecting to all of the other people on the planet at this moment, practicing this very popular loving kindness meditation. Imagine we're all connected in this space at this moment, sending it out together. And then sending it out into our community. Repeat these words. May we be happy. May we be healthy and strong. May we be peaceful and at ease. And then if you have the time to take, soften into the ground, melt into the ground, and let go and take as much time as you need in your resting pose. If you need to finish up in 60 minutes, you're going to slowly bring yourself into a fetal position, curling up into a ball. And just connecting for a few more breaths to that loving kindness. Imagine being wrapped in a ball of loving kindness. Imagine wrapping yourself in so much compassion and kindness that you can begin to forgive yourself your mistakes. Accept your faults. Be less harsh with your inner judgments. Wrapping yourself in compassion and kindness. then slowly remaining wrapped in that kindness, bring yourself to a seated position and bring your hands to our heart space and connect with bringing our left and right sides to meet in front of our heart, as if accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. May we practice every day to be a little more compassionate with ourselves, a little more accepting, a little more kind, a little less struggling so hard to be perfect. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy and strong. And may we be peaceful and at ease. Thanks.